Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In this video, we will talk about the user interface for our robot. So can the operator send a comment to the robot, and respectively the robot will behave on based on the comment. For a simple scenario, we will have a operator user which sends a request to get the sensor information and gets the value as a return. So in this diagram, you will see that there is a robot which packs some elements like the sensors, the robot itself, the execution of the robot service, and the reactive service. And this gonna be our base for how the user can interact with the robot. Till now, we have had this behavior that whenever a sensor sends an update to a robot, the robot will do something as a response, like updating the motor behavior, and start resampling. And then whenever the touch sensor, for instance, trigger an event, it will the whole system will shut down. Now this middle part is what we aim to achieve, and in this regard, the user will send an sensor info request, and then the reactive service will ask the robot about the sensor information and send back this information to the service, and the response will go back to the user. So the user can see the actual value of the sensor. As we talked about the project in last video, we have updated our project to the Gradle. So the Gradle is used to build and deploy the project as a executable jar file on the robot. And also I would like to remind you that how the Gradle works. So basically, either you can use the command line to execute the Gradle tasks, or you can come to the configuration and config a task, a Gradle task, and this Gradle task will execute and build this list of tasks that you can run, and then simply you can right click and run the Gradle task using the IDE. And the response is that the project will be built and deployed on the brick using this IP address and user and password provided in the config file. And the Gradle tasks also are containing inside a file called build Gradle, and in the build Gradle you can give the dependencies that you want to use. For instance, for the sake of the communication between the user and the robot, we will using the verte.x, and the verte.x will provide us a very simple way to communicate through the web, and then we can simply instantiate a router, and this router will define a path, and under this path we can define our responses. So whenever the user requests this specific path, then we can return a response to our user, and the user will see this information or this information on the screen. For now, I have implemented a very simple example. So whenever the user asks for the ultrasonic sensor information, our response will be getting the information from the ultrasonic sensor listener and sending back the sample value to the user. And this is all what we need to do on the robot side. So basically, our implementation on the server side on the backend will be this part. And then we need to then implement a front end so we can uh, represent this information very nicely to the user. For now, we don't have that front end, but our backend will send this request, and to check if this part is working, we can simply use a Postman. Postman is a software that you can use to trigger REST requests. And for this example, we will have the address of the robot plus the port that the request will be listened to, and also the representing path that we want to use to get the sensor information. So at the moment when I send the request, you will see I will get this value, which means that the ultrasonic sensor observe an object in 12 centimeter of the robot. So I will remove this object from the ultrasonic sensor, and we will send a request again. As you see, the value would rise up because now the obstacle have been removed and we will have a new value. So the next step will be to use this let's say possibility to even post or send or put a new value to the robot. So the front end, which will be a single page application, will be routing on this specific path that we will define, and then the user interface will be able to communicate to the robot using this technique and this mechanism that we will implement inside the robot. In this video, this is the main concept that I want to discuss with you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and in later videos we will start to do some basics for our user interface, and then we will see that how we can do this the front end so that the user can also communicate with the robot. Thanks for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope that we will get in touch again. Thank you.